All right, so are you ready to dive deep into Stone Cold with me? It's the fourth book in the Outlaw Rider series. And you know all those characters that we've come to love and maybe hate just a little?
Yeah.
Well, this book goes deep into their pasts, gives us a look at what makes them tick.
You know, it's really interesting how Stone Cold is not just a standalone story. It's like a key.
Yeah.
Unlocks like these hidden depths in the whole Outlaw Rider universe.
Mm-hmm.
By exploring these characters' backstories, we can understand their actions in like a whole new light.
Totally. Like finding out like your favorite superhero's origin story. Suddenly everything clicks into place.
Right.
So let's start with William Stone. We find him, living the good life in Argentina, running an art gallery, enjoying a hefty inheritance.
Mm.
But, something tells me there's more to this guy than meets the eye.
Right. Oh, yeah. Definitely, you're right to be suspicious. Stone Cold reveals that William Stone is actually living under an assumed identity. His real name is Jacob Conrad. He was a financial expert who was imprisoned for manipulating financial markets.
Oh, wow.
MI6 orchestrated his death and gave him a new life as William Stone, their man on the inside of the criminal underworld.
Okay, now that's a plot twist.
Right.
So he's not just an art connoisseur, he's a ghost with a past.
Right.
But why would MI6 need someone like him?
Well, remember, the Outlaw Rider series is steeped in the world of international crime. Triads, cartels, even intelligence agencies constantly vying for power and control.
Right.
MI6 needed someone like Stone, someone with the skills and knowledge to navigate the murky world of finance and espionage.
I see. So it's like a high-stakes chess game and Stone is their key piece.
Yeah.
But is everyone in this book hiding something?
Well, let's talk about Charlie Long.
Okay.
He's a dragonhead of the powerful Hong Kong triad. Think ruthless ambition, shadowy business dealings, and a penchant for eliminating anyone who gets in his way. He controls everything from nightclubs to horse racing, and he's not afraid to get his hands dirty.
This sounds like someone you wouldn't want to cross.
No.
What's his connection to Stone?
Well, their paths cross at the Laughing Monkey, Long's exclusive nightclub.
Okay.
It's a scene that perfectly captures the allure and the danger of Long's world. Wealthy businessmen, illicit deals, and undercurrent of violence. It's here that Long reveals his plan to use the Murphy Peanut Butter Company, of all things, as a front for drug distribution.
Wait, peanut butter?
Yeah.
That's so unexpected. How does he pull that off?
Well, the owners are desperate for cash. Long seizes the opportunity and offers them a deal they can't refuse. He's a master manipulator preying on their weaknesses to gain control of their vast distribution network.
So clever, but incredibly ruthless. And this is just the beginning, right?
Oh, yeah.
What else does Long have up his sleeve?
Well, he also controls the Happy Hills racetrack, where he rigs races to make a fortune.
Of course he does.
And anyone who threatens his operation ends up at the bottom of Victoria Harbor.
Oh my gosh.
This guy is all about control and intimidation.
Okay, so we've got Stone, the former financial whiz turned MI6 operative, and Long, the ruthless triad boss.
Yep.
Who else joins this party?
Hold on, because it gets even more complicated. We have me and Mo Fields, a husband and wife team who act as liaisons between MI6 and the Hongmian.
Okay.
They operate in the shadows, playing both sides, always walking a tightrope between loyalty and betrayal.
Wow, talk about a tangled web. So we've got double agents, shady business deals, and a whole lot of tension brewing. Where does this all lead?
Well, remember those blurred lines between legitimate operations and the criminal underworld. Section 6, MI6's covert unit, is playing a dangerous game.
Uh-oh.
They're using Stone and the Hongmian to control the drug trade,
Wow.
while simultaneously they're trying to undermine the Wan Chai.
Oh, so they're trying to control the chaos, but they're also fueling it. That's a risky strategy.
Yeah, it is, and it leads to some pretty explosive confrontations.
Oh.
For example, Alejandro Montoya, a powerful Mexican drug lord, clashes with Long over control of the U.S. drug market.
Okay.
Their meeting at Montoya's compound is incredibly tense. Long delivers an ultimatum, making it clear that he's not someone to be trifled with.
Okay, things are heating up. Two powerful figures, both vying for dominance. What happens next?
Well, this is where Sonia Montoya, Alejandro's daughter, steps onto the stage.
Okay.
She's grown tired of her father's brutality and recklessness. She sees Long as a threat to their operation and decides to take matters into her own hands.
Wait, a daughter turning against her father? That's a bold move. What's her plan?
Well, Sonia decides to stage a coup. She enlists the help of Jessie, a trusted associate, to eliminate her father and take control.
Okay.
And remember Jessie, she's a key player from previous Outlaw Rider books, and her connection to Stone adds another layer of complexity to this story.
Oh yeah, Jessie. She's tough, resourceful, and definitely not afraid to get her hands dirty. What's her history with Stone?
Their relationship is complicated to say the least. They have a deep connection, but their past involvement with MI6 and the Triads casts a long shadow over their present. It's a relationship built on trust, but also on secrets and betrayals.
This is already so much more than just a backstory. We've got power struggles, betrayals, and dangerous alliances forming. It sounds like things are about to explode.
Yeah.
Stone Cold doesn't shy away from the violence, does it?
No, it does not. The assassination attempt on Mefields in London sends shockwaves through the underworld. Mo, consumed by grief and rage, sets out to avenge his wife's death.
So we're going from Hong Kong to London, from peanut butter schemes to assassinations. This is getting intense.
Yeah.
What else happens?
Well, the violence escalates quickly. Genghis Lee, a ruthless enforcer, orchestrates the bombing of the Jiangxi Motorcycle Club's headquarters, leaving a trail of destruction in his wake.
Wow, this Genghis Lee sounds like a real wild card. Wait, didn't you mention the Jiangxi earlier? Who are they? And why are they targeted?
The Jiangxi are a powerful motorcycle club. They're known for their brutality and their belief in their own invincibility.
Okay.
They represent a more old-school style of criminality, and their clash with Genghis Lee highlights the changing landscape of the underworld. New players, new methods, and a lot more firepower.
So old school bikers versus high-tech weaponry. That's a battle I'd want to see from a safe distance, of course.
Yeah.
But tell me, does anyone survive this chaos?
Amazingly, Tommy King Kong, the formidable leader of the Jiangxi, survives the bombing.
He does?
He does. He's a force of nature, seemingly indestructible. His survival adds another layer of uncertainty to the already volatile situation.
King Kong surviving a bombing. This book is full of surprises. What happens to him after that?
Well, he ends up facing Genghis Lee in a very tense confrontation at the hospital.
Okay.
It's a clash of titans. Two powerful figures with a history of bad blood between them. The animosity is palpable, but there's also this grudging respect between these two warriors.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat. Hospital showdowns, triad power plays, and a peanut butter drug ring. This book has it all. But where do we go from here?
Well, after the dust settles, we see a new world order emerging.
Okay.
Sonia Montoya, now in control of her father's empire, forms a tenuous alliance with Stone and Benson Young, the aging but influential dragonhead of the Hongmian.
Whoa, so Sonia pulls off her coup. That's impressive. But is this alliance going to last?
Well, it's a fragile peace, built on shared interests and a healthy dose of mutual distrust. Remember, the drug trade is a treacherous business, and betrayal is always a possibility.
I bet. And what about Charlie Long? Is he really gone?
Well, his fate remains a mystery. He's presumed dead,
Okay.
but rumors persist that he might be alive and hiding, plotting his return from the shadows.
A mysterious disappearance. Come on, you can't leave me hanging like that.
No, I know.
Tell me more about this new world order. What's changed?
Well, the drug trade, despite the upheaval, continues to thrive.
El Astronauta. That's an intriguing name. What do we know about him?
Not much, which makes him even more dangerous.
Okay.
He operates in the shadows, pulling strings from behind the scenes.
So we've got a new power dynamic, a mysterious new kingpin, and the possibility of Charlie Long's return. This is getting good.
Yeah.
But what about Stone? What's he up to in all of this?
Well, Stone Cold ends with Stone in Lima observing El Astronauta and Tommy Kong. The scene is filled with tension and unanswered questions. It's clear that the game is far from over and Stone is right in the middle of it.
Wow, that's quite the cliffhanger. I need to know what happens next. But before we move on to the next part of our deep dive, let's take a moment to digest everything we've learned so far.
Yeah, it's incredible how Stone Cold manages to be both a standalone thriller and a crucial piece of the larger outlaw writer puzzle.
It's like the author took all these characters we thought we knew and flipped their stories on their heads.
Exactly. And in the process, he's given us a deeper understanding of the forces that drive this world. The ambition, the betrayals, the constant struggle for power.
So for those of you who haven't read Stone Cold yet, I highly recommend checking it out. It's a wild ride, full of twists and turns, and it will leave you wanting more.
Definitely.
And for those of you who are already fans of the Outlaw Rider series, well, this book is a must-read.
Absolutely. It's like getting a backstage pass to the Outlaw Rider universe. You see the characters in a new light and you understand their motivations on like a deeper level.
And the best part is this is just the beginning of our deep dive.
Yeah.
We've only scratched the surface of what Stone Cold has to offer. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll explore the themes, the symbolism, and the lasting impact of this incredible book.
You know, as we delve deeper into Stone Cold, one thing that keeps coming to mind is the theme of identity.
Oh, yeah?
So many of these characters are living double lives, hiding behind masks,
Hmm.
struggling to reconcile their past with their present.
That's so true. It's
Yeah.
like they're all playing different roles, trying to figure out who they really are in this crazy world.
Right.
Like, take Stone, for example.
Yeah.
He's gone from financial wizard to prisoner to MI6 operative, all under different names.
Exactly. His journey is a constant negotiation between who he was, who he's pretending to be, and who he might actually want to become.
Right.
And it's not just him.
Yeah.
Charlie Long cultivates this image of power and sophistication. But underneath it all, there's this ruthlessness that's both terrifying and strangely fascinating.
Yeah, it's like they're all trying to control their narratives, but their pasts keep coming back to haunt them.
Right.
It makes you wonder, can anyone truly escape their history?
That's a question that Stone Cold grapples with on multiple levels.
Yeah.
And it's not just about individual identities, it's also about the shifting allegiances and betrayals that define the criminal underworld.
You mean how trust is such a fragile thing in this world?
Exactly.
How alliances can crumble in an instant.
Precisely. Look at the relationship between Stone and Jesse. They have this shared history, this connection that goes beyond their work for MI6, but there's also this undercurrent of suspicion, a sense that they can't fully trust each other.
Now, their confrontation in Jesse's office is so intense.
Oh, yeah.
You can feel the weight of their past, the unspoken words, the fear of betrayal.
Right.
It's like they're both walking on eggshells, afraid to say or do the wrong thing.
That scene is a perfect example of how Stone Cold explores the complexities of human relationships.
Yeah.
It's not all black and white, good versus evil. These characters are driven by a mixture of loyalty, self-preservation, and a longing for something more than this brutal reality that they inhabit.
And speaking of loyalty, what about Mo Fields?
Right.
He goes on this revenge-fueled rampage after the death of his wife, Mee. It's heartbreaking to see him consumed by grief and anger.
It is. Mo's story is a powerful exploration of loss and the lengths people will go to for those they love.
Yeah.
His partnership with Cookie, another MI6 operative, adds an interesting layer to the story. They're both driven by this thirst for justice, but they also have their own demons to battle.
Their attempt to prevent the assassination at the Lyceum Theater is so tense.
Oh, it is.
You're rooting for them,
Yeah.
but, the odds are stacked against them.
Yeah.
And the way that Mee is killed so casually, so ruthlessly, it's just chilling.
That scene highlights the casual brutality that permeates this world.
Yeah.
Violence can erupt at any moment, shattering lives and leaving scars that never fully heal.
It's a reminder that even in a world of spies and criminals, there are real human cops, real victims. And it makes you question the whole system.
Right.
The blurred lines between right and wrong,
Yeah.
the justifications for violence.
And that leads us to another key theme in Stone Cold.
Okay.
The cyclical nature of violence. Revenge begets revenge, creating a chain reaction of pain and destruction that seems impossible to break.
It's like a whirlpool pulling everyone down into the abyss.
Right.
No matter how hard they try to escape, they keep getting sucked back in.
Exactly. Look at the attack on the Jiangxi Motorcycle Club.
Yeah, it's a brutal display of force orchestrated by Genghis Lee, this ruthless enforcer who operates with chilling efficiency.
Drones loaded with C4. Talk about overkill. It's like he's sending a message, adapt or die.
It's a sign of the times. The criminal underworld is evolving, embracing new technologies and tactics.
Right.
But the old codes, the thirst for power, the willingness to resort to violence, those remain constant.
And even in the face of this technological onslaught, Tommy King Kong survives.
I know.
It's almost unbelievable. He's like this mythical figure embodying this raw, primal energy that refuses to be extinguished.
His survival speaks to the enduring power of the old guard.
Yeah.
The ones who refuse to back down, even when the odds are stacked against them.
Right.
And his partnership with El Astronauta, this mysterious new player, suggests a fusion of the old and the new, a potential shift in the balance of power.
That final confrontation between Kong and Genghis Lee at the hospital is so intense.
Oh, it is.
You can feel the hatred, the respect, the understanding that they're two sides of the same coin. It's a fascinating dynamic. Lee, despite his ruthlessness, offers Kong a chance to join him to become part of the New World Order.
Wow.
But Kong refuses. He's a survivor, but he's not a follower. He wants to chart his own course, even if it means facing impossible odds.
It's a testament to his stubbornness, but also his loyalty to his own code.
Mm.
He won't compromise his principles, even if it costs him everything.
And that brings us back to the idea of identity.
Okay.
Who are these characters at their core? What drives them? What are they willing to fight for?
It's like the author's challenging us to look beyond the surface, to see the humanity beneath the masks,
Yeah.
the vulnerabilities behind the tough exteriors.
And that's what makes Stone Cold such a compelling read.
Yeah.
It's not just about action and suspense. It's about the moral dilemmas, the betrayals, the fleeting moments of connection that define these characters' lives.
You're right. Stone Cold goes beyond the typical thriller formula.
It does.
It delves into the psychology of its characters, exploring their motivations, their fears, their desires.
And in doing so, it raises some really thought-provoking questions about the nature of power, the corrosive effects of violence, and the search for redemption in a world where the lines between good and evil are constantly blurred.
It's like the author's holding up a mirror to our own society, forcing us to confront the darkness that lurks beneath the surface, the compromises we make, the choices that define who we are.
And that brings us to the ending of Stone Cold, which, let's be honest, is a total cliffhanger.
I know.
We're left with more questions than answers.
Right.
A sense of unease and a desperate need to know what happens next.
I know. It's like the author drops a bomb and then walks away, leaving us to sift through the wreckage.
But that's the beauty of it, isn't it? It keeps us engaged, keeps us thinking, keeps us coming back for more.
Absolutely. Stone Cold is more than just a book. It's an experience. It draws you into its world, makes you question your assumptions, and leaves you wanting more. So stay with us as we dive into the final part of our deep dive, where we'll explore the ending, the symbolism, and the lasting impact of this incredible book.
Mm.
You know, we've talked about identity and betrayal and that never-ending cycle of violence in Stone Cold.
Yeah.
But what really stuck with me was this idea of unintended consequences.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like every action in this book sets off this chain reaction,
Right.
leading to outcomes that no one could have predicted.
Yeah, that's a great observation. Stone Cold is a masterclass in cause and effect.
Yeah.
Take Charlie Long's scheme with the Murphy Peanut Butter Company. He thought he was being so clever, using this seemingly innocent business as a front for his drug operation.
Right. Who would suspect peanut butter?
Exactly.
Well, it all blew up in his face, didn't it?
It sure did. He underestimated the Murphys. He underestimated Stone, and he ultimately underestimated the chaotic nature of the world he was trying to control.
Right.
His actions unleashed this torrent of violence and betrayal that he just couldn't contain.
It's a classic case of overreach, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thinking you're pulling the strings only to realize you're tangled up in them yourself.
Exactly. And it's not just Long who gets caught in the crossfire.
Right.
Stone, despite his attempts to distance himself from his past, he can't seem to escape the pull of the underworld.
Right.
His loyalty to Benson Young, his complicated relationship with Jesse,
Yeah.
and his own sense of justice keep drawing him back into the fray.
He's like a moth drawn to a flame even though he knows it could burn him.
Right.
It makes you wonder if he's really in control of his own destiny or if he's just a pawn in a larger game.
That's the question that haunts Stone throughout the book.
Yeah.
He's constantly trying to figure out who he is,
Right.
what he believes in, and what he's willing to fight for.
Yeah.
He's not like a traditional hero,
Right.
but there's something about his resilience, his determination to do what he thinks is right that makes you root for him.
And then there's Tommy King Kong.
Oh!
Talk about a survivor. He takes on the Jiangxi.
Mm-hmm.
He survives the bombing.
Mm-hmm.
He stares down Genghis Lee in a hospital room.
I know.
He's like a force of nature, unstoppable and unpredictable.
Kong embodies this primal energy,
Yeah.
this refusal to back down, even in the face of overwhelming odds.
Mm-hmm.
He represents the old guard, the ones who rely on instinct and brute force.
Yeah.
But there's also a cunning to him, a strategic mind that allows him to adapt and survive.
And his partnership with El Astronauta.
Oh, yeah.
It's fascinating.
Oh.
It's like a fusion of the old and the new brute force combined with strategic
Yeah.
brilliance.
Yeah.
They're a formidable duo, and they represent a potential shift in the balance of power in the criminal underworld.
It's almost Shakespearean, this clash of titans.
Right.
Sonia Montoya Stone and Benson Young on one side representing the established order, and El Astronauta and Tommy King Kong on the other challenging the status quo.
Right.
The stakes are incredibly high, and the outcome is uncertain.
And that's what makes the ending of Stone Cold so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a neat resolution tied up with a bow. It's a cliffhanger, a launching pad for the next chapter in this epic saga.
Right. The final scene with Stone watching El Astronauta and Tommy Kong from a distance is filled with tension and unanswered questions.
Yeah.
What's going to happen next? Will the alliances hold? Will Stone finally find some peace, or is he destined to be forever caught in the crossfire?
It's like the author is saying, I've given you the pieces, now you figure out the puzzle. And that's what makes Stone Cold such a rewarding read. It's not just about the plot.
Right.
It's about the characters, the themes, the questions that it raises about the nature of power, loyalty, and the choices that we make that shape our destinies.
You've hit the nail on the head. Stone Cold is a masterclass in storytelling. The author weaves together action, suspense, and character development into a seamless tapestry that keeps you hooked from the first page to the last.
From the bustling streets of Hong Kong to the dusty backroads of Mexico and the vibrant plazas of Lima, the author paints a vivid picture of these diverse locations.
Yes.
You feel like you're right there with the characters experiencing the sights, the sounds, and even the smells of their world.
And the dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
It's sharp, witty, and often darkly humorous, even amidst the violence and betrayal. The author has a knack for capturing the nuances of human interaction.
Yeah.
The way people talk, the way they reveal themselves through their words and actions.
Stone Cold is more than just a thriller.
It is.
It's a study of human nature, a reflection on the complexities of the world we live in. It challenges our perceptions, makes us question our assumptions, and ultimately leaves us with a sense of wonder and unease.
If you're looking for a book that will stay with you long after you finish reading it,
Yeah.
a book that will make you think, feel, and question everything you thought you knew then, Stone Cold is the book for you.
So there you have it, folks. Our deep dive into Stone Cold, the fourth book in the Outlaw Rider series. It's a wild ride full of twists and turns, betrayal and redemption violence, and unexpected alliances. It's a book that will leave you breathless, wanting more, and eager to see what happens next in this epic saga. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the stories that captivate your imagination.